Hey, yeah, what's up? The disciple Marcello Currents reign back up in this anti-Illuminati all day, anti-telepathy all day, anti-America all day, and everybody with him. Yeah, so this video is going to be basically about what a lot of high-ranking Christians and high-ranking prophets and prophetesses may be going through, and most likely are going through, is what I call a dream team of witches and warlocks and telepaths and psychics. It's a dream team, if you will, of psychics, telepaths, witches, and warlocks, and telepaths. So, for whoever motives it is, whether it's the government, whether it's the black community, whether it's just overall godless attempt by America to stop and undermine God's people, they have comprised basically a dream team of psychics, witches, and warlocks and telepaths against key people, key churches, key famous people, key anybody that's a threat. Okay, so what you got to remember before I even get into this is that the Church of Satan was birthed here in America. The Church of Satan was not birthed in Africa. It was not birthed in Europe. It was not birthed in South America. The Church of Satan was birthed here in America. Okay? Now, I don't care what people, now most Christians are going to go in and say, well, they don't even believe in certain things. It doesn't matter. They call themselves the Church of Satan, which is all about deception. You don't believe anything that comes out of somebody's mouth to say they are part of the Church of Satan, except for the fact that they say they're part of the Church of Satan. That's the only thing you need to know. You don't listen to anything they say if they believe in the devil, because the devil doesn't want us to believe. Satan doesn't want us to believe that he's real. He wants us to believe he's some cartoonish entity that has no effect on society, and that's not true. Trying to make us be naughty to have an extra piece of cake. That's not true, So anyone that says they're a part of the Church of Satan, you don't think Satan is going to be involved. Come on now. They start a whole organization calling themselves the Church of Satan. You don't think Satan himself is going to come check that out? Come on now. Don't be naive. That's why I'm going to keep saying that on all these videos, because there's a lot of naive people out here that, people have levels of being naive and they don't even know it. Okay, you can't think for other people. That's the first understanding of understanding anything, is don't think on it. Let it come to you as it is. That's why I don't try to read people. Reading people is a big mistake, because you never truly see who the person is, because you already think you know. You already think you know who the person is, maybe because of arrogance, maybe because of your education. Maybe because you went to school and you got a degree in psychology. You think that you know what the person is and who the person is, and you set yourself up for failure. Because there are some people that are just as intelligent as you. So if you try to read them, they can give you all the right signals as far as body language, eye language. We all know that the language that are communicated by humans is 80% non-communicative. It's not through 20% of it is communication, and 80% is through other means. So if a person understands how to communicate through those other means, they can manipulate and have you believing that they're this good person, and that's how politicians get us. That's how politicians get you. Because they can manipulate all the 80% of different languages, if you will, to have you believing they're a good person. Okay? Everybody is not a good person in the world. Everybody doesn't have good intentions. You know what I'm saying? And when you understand this, you will understand your world around you, and you definitely will understand witches. Witches walk in complete deception. Warlocks and people of witchcraft walk in complete deception. They're gonna say what you want to say, They're gonna act the way you want them to act. They're gonna act the way you want them to act. They're gonna behave the way you think they should behave. And you can't be naive to say, that's a good person. They just acted so nice. They're manipulating. This is why you've been deceived by government. This is why you've been deceived by your leaders. This is why you've been deceived by people that you married. This is why you've been deceived, because people almost humans programming themselves to be on their best behavior, but it's not their true character. So it's just a behavior that's put on, and it's not an actual character. So so a lot of you have been manipulated even in marriage. You've married all the wrong people, and the reason why is because they told you everything you wanted to know, you wanted to hear. They behaved the way you wanted them to behave, and they acted and they said all the things that you wanted to hear. They acted the way you wanted them to act. Okay? They did all that, which is a person which most humans do. They put on all the good stuff, but it's not truly genuine. It's not truly real. It's not truly who they are. But most humans even manipulate themselves to get what they want. They manipulate themselves to be a good person to get what they want. If they want to get freedom, if they're in the courtroom, they put on this show like they're crying, and they put on these clothes that look like they're such a good person. And it's all manipulation to put on the right image so that you are manipulated properly and you believe that they're a good person. That's why you notice every time these crazy people get locked up and they go to prison, in their court, they look so fresh and refined. Their lawyer even gives them this image. You know what I'm saying? Like they're such a good person. You know what I'm saying? So you have to realize that. You know, so in this community in America, you have the Church of Satan. It was birthed here by Anton LaVey, and Anton LaVey started it in San Francisco. He started that at the Black House in San Francisco. Okay, he was among celebrities. He was among musicians, and the bottom line is, whether you can, I don't care what he believes. See, that's the deception part about it. If somebody say they are the Church of Jesus Christ, then what are they? They followers of Jesus Christ. Somebody say they are of the Church of Satan. Okay, that is people that follow Satan, period. And you can't believe anything that come out their mouth because they will manipulate. Okay, so moving on. This dream team is comprised against key people in America. If you are a high-ranking prophet, or if you are a high-ranking general in the kingdom of God, most likely the American community, whether it's government or non-government, let's just say the American community has comprised against you a satanic dream team. And when I say dream team, let me help you understand what dream team is. I'm using this term that is used for like the Olympic teams, the basketball Olympic teams, the USA basketball Olympic team that goes across seas. It's a dream team. They have the best forward, the best center, the best point guard, the best, all the positions, the best five. Those 5 positions are filled with the best of the best from the NBA. So they'll pick somebody from Chicago Bulls, a forward from the Bulls, a point guard, a guard from Utah. They may pick somebody from the Knicks, you know what I'm saying, to fill the forward, the center, the point guard, the guard position, you know, and the center position, all these positions, you know, the 5 positions, you know, and this is what they have done, and they use the best. They don't come from the same team. This dream team, they don't come from the same region. They don't have the same coaches, but they all have certain keen skills for their position. They are excellent at their position. So what they have done is for generals and high-ranking preachers and high-ranking prophets, they have taken and comprised a dream team with these positions. If it's telepaths, they're the sharpest at being a telepath, the sharpest at being a psychic, the sharpest at witchcraft, the sharpest of casting spells and hexes. And so this dream team is used. They use, and these people may, somebody, like for example, somebody may come from Hades. You might have someone that comes from Mexico. You might have someone that comes from Europe, some white person that knows Wicca. You have all these different races and ethnicities. This is what I'm being showed. All these different ethnicities and races all comprise together against key people here in America to defeat who they are spiritually. It's more important that you're defeated spiritually than physically. And that's what you got to understand. So that's definitely satanic, because if you're defeated spiritually, then Satan has you, and therefore you're on your way to hell. So that makes this a spiritual war. It's more important that you succumb. Hear what I'm saying? It's more important that you succumb to the satanic world than you to die. That's why, if you notice, that's why you keep getting triggered. They keep trying to trigger your mind. They keep trying to trigger your thought process, because it's all about you succumbing to fall out of love with God. They want you to not have a loving relationship with God. They want you to fall and be hell-bound like they are. So this is a satanic operation. And if you know, and if you hear it, like another example of it too, another analogy of it too is, excuse me, it's like Call of Duty, spiritual Call of Duty. So you have people that have that mindset. Like, some people are just like, how I put it, they're stuck in a video game world, and they have become fond of being some type of video gamer, some type of gamer type of video person. And the Call of Duty game has inspired not everyone, but a lot of people to be like that. So what they do is they just have, like I said, this dream team runs to and fro all around one person, like the Call of Duty. It's like instead of it being every man for himself, they have a team, and they walk and they move according to like a Call of Duty world. So they're driving by, they're walking by, and they have formed their minds to be like some type of Call of Duty real wartime minds. Their mind is in, the perspective is real wartime, but game time, like Call of Duty. So when you realize this, you'll realize everything around you. Once you realize, here's the key information. Once you realize they have formed this around you, then I would tell you that 70% of the stuff that you see is not a real, actual, natural occurrence. So you may see people walking down the street, that's not real. You may hear sounds outside, that's not real. You may see things, even if you're very high ranking, they'll put a campaign even on your phone. All the stuff you see, it's not real. So, if you're very high ranking, they will go after your phone. They will go after your your timeline, and all your timeline will be comprised of psychological war games. And you'll go up and down your Facebook and you will notice something is weird, the triggers, the different things, how they line up. It's all to undermine who you are spiritually. You have to realize that. So their whole point is to basically take who you watch everything that you do and try to master who you are. They do that too. They try to master who you are and see whatever weakness they think you have or they're trying to form, they begin to trigger over and over again. That's why that's why you would notice you get triggered over and over again, the same thing, and it's not you. What it is it's the dream team that they've used against you. It's the dream team that they're using against you to undermine who you are spiritually. So what they will do, like I said, here's the other key thing. They will have a monitoring spirit watching your every thought. That's the main center nucleus of knowing that you're high ranking. They have some type of monitoring spirit, some type of spirit that is watching your thought process 24/7. This lets you know that you have risen to a higher level. So like I was saying, none of this stuff is real. None of it is real. It is not natural. All the stuff you see on your phone, all the stuff you see when you go to the grocery store, all these occurrences are not natural. They are all war games and psychological. And this is for those who, this is not it for everyone. This is for those who they have esteemed as a threat against the satanic, against the godless world that they're trying to form. Okay? And this is not even their own vision. This is a satanic vision from Satan. So they're being used and manipulated and don't even know it. Okay? So it's not 70%. If they are targeting you, if they are watching and monitoring you, then 60 to 70% of everything you engage in is not natural. So for instance, if you see children walking down the street and they're trying to if they're trying to build what I call if they're trying to build a pedophile brain in you, if they're trying to make a pedophile person out of you, then I would say 60 to 70% of the children interactions that you interact with while going through your routines out here is not natural. It's not natural. It's to build this self-conscious pedophile image so you will feel super self-conscious. So you will feel like, oh, I'm a pedophile. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. Oh, I'm doing this wrong. And they're trying to trigger you over and over again until you believe it. So then, therefore, you're giving out the vibration of something that you're not. So now that they've built this false image against your mind and brain that you are a pedophile, now because you're self-conscious of that, now your vibration is giving out a synthetic pedophile vibration. It's not real. You really are not, but you're so self-conscious, and they've tried to build this fake pedophile image in your mind so hardly that you start to push out a synthetic pedophile vibration. Okay? So the first rule in defeating all of this, in defeating this dream team, the first foundation is to understand yourself. Understand yourself. Get acquainted with yourself. Get alone by yourself every year. Know yourself when you're 40, know yourself when you're 41, know yourself when you're 42, 43. Every year, track the progress of your mind, your heart, and your soul, because it changes every year. But a lot of us have people in our lives, relationships, we have clutter, we have addictions, we have all type of even emotional sickness, mental sickness that people go through, and you can't track who you are becoming year by year. So by the time you get alone, a lot of you're like, wow, it's either good or bad. But you got to get alone with yourself in order to understand yourself and know yourself every year, and this would give you the upper hand over all their manipulations. Because once you know yourself, you're like a mechanic to yourself. You're like, oh, no, I know that's not me. You're fixing on yourself. No one can fix on you like you can, but God. I'm going to say that again. No one can fix on you like you can, but God. And you can filter everything that is not you out your mind, because you know your heart and you know your mind better than anyone, because you're constantly receiving messages of who you are to your brain from your soul and from your heart as you interact with the world. So because of that, you know who you are as you interact with the world. So when something comes that contradicts that, that's the enemy. That's the dream team that the American community has put against you. So the greatest foundation is to know yourself. Know yourself and put on the mind of Christ through reading his word and putting on the character that he instructs us to have in his word. Okay? So the end is almost near. I mean, it's just these messages now are for people to get ready for heaven, because a lot of you may not be ready. You might think you're ready, but you're not ready. So these messages are not even necessarily to go and be bloodthirsty for this dream team, because I mean, COVID is clearly taken over the world. This is not going to go away. And no one wants to accept that this is how it's going to end. No one wants to accept it. And I would even dare to say that if your government knew, the American government or the governments of the world knew this is how it was going to end, they wouldn't tell you, because they've already showed examples where they hide information to stop you from panicking. So how much more would they hide information that this is a means to an end? COVID is the end of the world. How much more would they hide that information? If they hid information about COVID itself in the first place, and they didn't want people to panic about the disease itself, how much more would they not want people to panic about the end of the world? That's what I'm telling you. So they're not going to tell you. They're not going to tell you there's no way out. But how are they going to clean up the world? How are they going to sanitize the world? I mean, it's just a means to an end. So these messages are now basically to get all that gook and all that crazy foolishness that happened over the years and in the past months, and get all of that out of you. Realize what they were doing. Realize the game that they were playing, and it failed. Okay, because now they have COVID on them. Now God has responded to the dream team of witchcraft. He has now responded by putting COVID on the whole community, and now nobody's going to be free because of these witches and warlocks. They are, just as much as Donald Trump is to blame for his slow response and him trying to get reelected, by just as much as he did that and caused COVID to be a problem, the witches and warlocks and the psychics and telepaths are just as much responsible, if not more responsible than Donald Trump, because they created bad vibrations in the atmosphere, and the energy that they put out among children, men, and old people, senior citizens. All that crazy energy that they put out in America was new to America. It might be not new to somewhere else, but this was new to America. And they thought that these, like, back to that gamer mentality, these little entitled Americans thought that they could play a game with society. And it backfired. The game that they played backfired, and COVID came from God to destroy the telepathic dream team, the psychic dream team, the witchcraft dream team. The repercussions came through COVID for all that they were doing. Okay? And so that's why it's no mystery to me. I know exactly what's going on. This is a repercussion for all this witchcraft, all this sorcery, foolishness, and wizardry, and they have no way out. I don't see how they could laugh, because the laugh is on them now. Because there's not going to be any world, and where they're going is hell. So, and like I say, in hell the people do scream. You ain't gonna get to hell and have a party. You will scream in hell. And that's a fact. I don't care how bad you think you are. When you get to hell, you will scream. That's the facts. Okay? So, we have to understand. People say, well, I have this gift, I've had this gift. No, you have to understand that you've been manipulated. I'm going to do part 2 on this.